I have a question to coach. Can you talk about Danilo Luiz's position and function in your new season's plan? Thank you. Danilo.
Good afternoon. Works? Yeah. Good afternoon to everybody. Danilo can play in, of course, his position is fullback, right? But of course, he can play in the left in both positions, and even can play in the midfield player in Brazil. Fernandinho knows that, playing the holding midfielder, even attacking midfielder, so he can play in several positions. Now from his period in Oporto with Julian Lopetegui, when I play against them with Bayern Munich, so, and of course when he played in Real Madrid, so he's a young player, potential player, so, and be thank you. I'm grateful for he's here with us.
Good afternoon. Being that it is preseason, other than the result of tomorrow's game, what other objectives are you looking to get out of tomorrow's match?
Well, we are in the, like you said, in the preseason, so we have new players, but they still don't play. Like a case from Mendy, like Bernardo Silva, and injured players. Like a few players cannot play tomorrow. So, but the objective is play against the last champion of Europe. It's a problem for us to play against them. We will see how is our condition and to prepare as best as possible on 12th of July. And of course, when you play teams like Madrid, Barcelona, and so on, so there are a lot of quality, and we will test how is our level against them.
Pep, last season was a little disappointing for you as a coach, your first season not having won a trophy. How are you approaching your second season in the Premier League? Do you feel like even a lot of people talk about new players coming in and then having to adapt? How are you approaching your second season in the Premier League in terms of what you may have learned in your rookie year, and how is that translating in terms of better preparing your players even as a manager?
No, not changed too much. The approach in that season is quite similar than the last one. So I know we have in our shoulders. We have to demanding ourselves the best as possible to compete as best as possible. We did a very, very good thing last season. Of course, we are judged in terms if we won titles or don't. So in that terms, it was not good. But we did a very, very good thing. So we changed players because our age in the team, the squad was so old. So we have 10, 11 players more than 30 years old. So we tried to change a little bit last season, a little bit more that season, because we changed not just for the short period, 1 season or 2, for 4, 5, next 6 years. And of course we're going to try to do our best. The pressure is the same like last season, and we're going to make a good performance and win the games and try until the end of the season fight for the titles.
Hi. In Houston, you said that you wanted to try and get 4 more players this summer. You've got 2 since then. Are you still after them?
Did I say that? I need 4 more players.
You said. I thought you were saying you'd like to. Maybe it was.
No, never in press conference. I demand talk too much or say too much through the media about what the club has to do. So I don't remember that. Maybe I said, but I don't remember that. So.
Well then, could I ask, would you still be after any more signings this summer if the right player came along? Would that include a forward?
Well, we have the 2 exceptional forwards like Gabriel and Sergio. So we will see the transfer. The market finished at, unfortunately, 31st of August, which is not good for the managers, for the clubs. The competition is starting at 12 and still the market is open. So I think that is not fair for all the clubs. And we will see. We will see what's happening. The people is here, the loan players, transfer players, and I think in the end maybe it's going to do something or not. So, and the other clubs are going to sign many players. So we will see until the end of the transfer.
Does it help though that the players who have joined have cited working with you as one of the reasons they wanted to come to Manchester City? Is that a bonus in this weird transfer market, the attraction of you to players?
To me, the reason why? I don't know. So is the players come for me? I don't know. So it's a question for them, but I think we can because the Premier League is so attractive, because the agreements are good, because not just be training with me and my staff, with his teammates. So all the clubs think about it, their potential, their squad getting better. So that's why we try, and we will see. Now is still a period where there are a lot of doubts in terms of the players are here, will be here or not. So we have to wait, and meanwhile prepare the team as well as possible.
Can I ask Fernandinho, a few of those players who've arrived are Brazilian. What's your role in helping them integrate into the club, into the side?
Good afternoon. First of all, is to translate them, the meetings, the training sessions, and to introduce them the new teammates, the staff, all of them. But of course, the new challenge of their life, and players like Danilo, Ederson come from countries like tropical countries, Spain and Portugal, come to Manchester to start to live in bad conditions weather, and we have to prepare them very good for that.
Down here. Some of the transfer fees that we've seen reported recently have been pretty outrageous and nuts when you look at historically speaking, not just at your club, but also other Premier League clubs and even in Spain. What do you make of the way the transfer fees are going and the figures when you see them? What's your reaction, and what do you think when you see these types of insane numbers?
It's a lot. It's a lot. So, but I think that 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, Madrid, for example, paid 30 million for Pepe, and Barcelona 37 for Dani Alves. 10 years later, that is the value now. So that period was amazing, and now the last year or 2 years increased a lot. So a lot. So players, I could not imagine years ago. No, years ago, 2 3 years ago, the people pay 100 million for one player, 120 million for one player. So and now it's happened, and it's going to happen more. So it's a lot. So it's nothing to do. So I would like to pay less for the club, for everybody, but the market is the market. So we had 4 players, 4 fullbacks. So Manchester City didn't invest in the fullbacks since the last 7 years, 6, 7 years, and all of 4 had 31, 30, 32 years old. And we decided we have to make the squad younger, and we tried to keep the best fullbacks that we believe it was possible, and believe that in that case Dani Alves, he was free, but he decided to go to Paris, and with Kyle and Mendy and now Danilo, the best options we had. And after that, the relation about the club, the transfer, I'm not involved in that. So. And I'm not a guy to say you have to do that like a club. I never said in Barcelona and Bayern Munich, never here. So they tell me we cannot pay here. Okay, we're going to do another option. So no problem at all in the terms. So I know how well the club tried to work, but it's today. But it's not Manchester City. People say Manchester City, you have to review because we didn't have fullbacks, and you have to do that. But all the clubs spend a lot of money. So all the clubs, not just us. So we're going to see until the 31st the amount of the new transfers is coming. So we'll see 70, 80, 90, 100 more than that. So maybe one day it's going to stop the flexion, and we'll see.
Okay. Can you come back on why you did recruit Benjamin Mendy? What are you expecting from him? And talking about French players, what are your plans for Samir Nasri and Elanga? Eliakim.
But both, they know the situation, so they train with us every single day. So we're going to find a solution, both of them, because the squad is big enough. I don't know even if they have a space. We have, I think, 2 more options free, and no more. And with Benjamin, we would like to play like he played in the last years in Marseille and then Monaco. His physical so strong. He can attack inside, outside. He's a young player, 22 years old. So sometimes you pay a little bit more for the time that you can play. We'll have one guy for the next 5, 6, 7 years. And he's physical strong. Unfortunately, he's a little bit injured. He's not ready for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But also, I think I know it's a funny guy. He's going to make a good locker room environment. So, and we're going to try to help us and going to try to be comfortable here. It's not easy to move on from one country to another one. And we are so satisfied that he decided to join us and to come with us.
Just a question for Fernandinho, please, guys.
Eu queria que você falasse sobre o Neymar, em grande falatório em relação
Sorry,
a
guys, can we do it in English?
Okay, could you give your thoughts about Neymar? Should keep he playing Barcelona or goes to PSG?
Brincadeira. So it's not much about to talk about that, but he's a great player. Both teams want to. Barcelona wants him to stay. PSG wants him to join them, but definitely he's one of the best players in the world, and he's gonna make the difference in Barcelona or PSG. We'll see what happens next.
After Phil Foden's impressive display against United, Gary Neville came out and said that he felt he was at the wrong club because he wouldn't get an opportunity to break into the first team. Is that a fair comment? And with all the money you're spending at the moment, quite huge sums of money to invest in the squad, how difficult is it for young players to break through into the City first team?
Which is the right club?
I'm just saying, but I mean, he
No,
was
which
saying,
is the right club?
but I'm just reporting what he said. He said that he was at the wrong Manchester club. He wouldn't
Yeah, but which is the right one? Which club is the right one? It's a question to Gary Neville, which is the right one?
Okay, then I'll rephrase the question. How difficult is it for a young, or how easy or difficult is it for young players to get an opportunity to break into the first team of Manchester City when you're spending so much on big signings?
Well, my historial is there, so it's not to put young players in the squad because they are young. They will be in the first squad. They have quality, and I don't have problems with that. So if Phil Foden played, he's going to play the next games. So he has quality to play in that team. And it depends on quality. That club is working really well in the terms of the academy. So there are many players with a good perspective in the future. So we will be patient with that guys. And they are going to train with us most of part of the season. Maybe he deserves to play, he's going to play. But I'm so happy to have it. So he's a Mancunian guy, he's a City fan, and as a humble guy, he's a fighter. He looks like skinny, but he's a strong guy. I was so happy to have it. And I thought even the journalist in the summertime was in holidays, but I realized it's not.
Hi, Pep. I think you mentioned in February that it'd be very difficult to make the sort of widespread changes this summer as was suggested back then. But it has turned out to be a summer when there really has been a lot of incomings and a lot of outgoings. How realistic is it for you to achieve your ambitions given that you've made so many changes this summer and obviously it will take time for those players?
Listen, the ambition is the same that was last season. There's no change that for the new incoming players are going to change. And the players knows which kind of energy I try to have with my staff to involve them to feel they are good, really, really good players to fight with the Titans. We were not good enough. And we don't change for a short period. So Bernardo Silva is 23, 24 years old. Ederson is 23, 24 years old. So all the players, the average is so young. So it's for the next 5 or 6 or 7 years, and we're going to help to as soon as possible to get it. To be involved in that. So, but the pressure and the feel was completely the same that my first year in Barcelona B and Barcelona when I became a manager and after Bayern Munich and now. So no change at all. So it's the same. It's, the guys are going to help us to be stronger. That is going to help them.
You've mentioned a couple of times that you're thinking about 5, 6, 7 years ahead, these young players that you're signing. Are you thinking that with you, or are you thinking that's your legacy that you leave Manchester City beyond? There's
I
obviously
think,
got 2 years left.
no, I think the club has to work, listen a little bit. The manager is in the right moment, but also take their own decisions in the perspective in the future. Because in the future, nobody knows what's going to happen. So the managers, all the managers in the world, depends on the results, and the results are not good. So nobody knows what can happen. But they are really good players, good enough. It doesn't matter the manager will be. So and for the Manchester City, that is the most important thing. And of course, I will try to remain as long as possible to help them, to help the city to keep going, to keep forward, and stay high as much as possible.
Just on the platform at the back, please.
Senor Guardiola, Benjamin Mendy improved a lot when he was playing under Marcelo Bielsa in Marseille, and I think you have a lot of respect for Marcelo Bielsa. Did that play a part for you to know that Bielsa had a lot of faith in the player for you when you had to choose this left back, Benjamin Mendy, the fact that Marcelo Bielsa believed in this player?
Yeah, that's true. When last season I was able to meet him and we be in touch and make a briefing about football and everything. We spoke about players and in the French league, and he spoke about Mendy, and he said me like after we discover we play against Monaco, he's a top player.
Hi Pep. After bringing in the players you brought in this summer, how good is this squad compared to the teams you've had in the past?
We will see. We will see. I'm not able to do that. So always the changes is to get better. No manager, no club in the world take a decision to change something for have fun. Is to get him better. We're going to try, but you have to move on. You have to settle between them the way we want to play, and then we're going to see. Now it's a little bit mystery.
You mentioned Dani Alves before. He obviously elected to join PSG. How do you actually feel about that? Was that disappointing for you?
No, not at all. Not at all. So I respect. I was a lucky guy to be his manager. So my 4 years in Barcelona with him was, you cannot imagine standing in terms on the pitch, off the pitch, in the locker like a human being. So I wish him all the best for him, of course his new wife, for family in Paris. So I wish him all the best. So with the people who I love a lot, so I want the best. And he decided his best option for his career, for his personal life. Paris was better option than us, so we have to accept that, and nothing to say. So we would have liked to have it, but it was not possible. Okay, all the best from Dani Paris.
A question for Fernandinho. Could you give a player's perspective of all the new arrivals that have come to City in the summer? It's a huge amount of investment. What's the feeling in the squad and of what you can achieve this year?
All of them? All the new ones, or just the Brazilians?
Yeah, just what you think of all the new arrivals and what City can achieve this year.
All of them has got the quality to play, especially in the Premier League. In the case of Danilo, Mendy, Ederson, they are strong. We all know the Premier League is so demanding physically, and in 3 days you have to be ready to play at a high level. And of course, they will make the difference for us, help us to achieve our targets in Premier League, in European as well, in Champions League. And I hope we can help them to be ready as soon as possible to do their best for the club.
Pep, did you talk to Dani Alves after his decision? And do you have a plan B for his absence?
Danilo's here. Danilo's here.
No,
Yeah, but you told me the plan B. Danilo's here. Yeah, I will send a text message.